Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is the last day of Crimemas and I just wanted to take this time to thank all of you guys for supporting this series and my channel. We recently hit 2K in our small community and I just wanted to express my gratitude towards you guys. So thank you so much. I will also be taking a short break during the holidays because Christmas is a pretty big deal here in the Philippines. So I will see you guys on January 3rd for a new true crime video and on January 6th for a beauty related review. Now, having that said, today we will be talking about a very sad case that really upsets me. Honestly, this case needs more coverage. I haven't really seen a lot of crime content creators covering this one, but today we will be talking about the murder of Ashley Zhao. Ashley Zhao was born on December 2011. She had a sister named Jojo who was 1 year older than her. Ashley and Jojo were the daughters of Liang Zhao and Mingming Chen, who were both immigrants from China. The father, Liang, spent most of his life in the US, usually moving around from Ohio to New York and back. Mingming, on the other hand, came to the United States illegally in 2008, but prior to this, she worked as an elementary school teacher back in China. When she arrived in the US, she started working at a Chinese-owned restaurant in New York, and this is when she met the owner's brother, Liang. Now, the two started dating and fell in love, getting married in early 2010. And that same year, they welcomed their first child, Jojo. The following year, in 2011, they decided to open up their own restaurant, Ang's Asian Cuisine in Ohio. And that same year, they welcomed a second daughter and named her Ashley. Now, the couple had their hands full. They were running a restaurant on their own and had two young daughters to take care of, so they decided to send baby Ashley to China to be taken care of and raised by Liang's mother. She spent 4 years there before finally being reunited with her family in the United States. Jojo and Ashley were said to be daddy's girls. However, these kids were not like the rest of their classmates. They didn't go to play dates, nor did they really ever get to explore the world around them because their parents were extremely busy and just did not have the time. And as I have mentioned, they were running the restaurant and had no other staff to help them. The two kids would often come with them to work and just play with each other in their place of business. However, this was pretty normal for them. This was how their everyday lives were. Until January 9th of 2017, when Liang called 911 to report his daughter Ashley missing.
Jackson Township Police.
I can't find my daughter.
When's the last time you seen her?
This afternoon probably.
Around what time?
3, maybe 4.
What? Okay, and you haven't seen her in 5 hours?
About, yeah. I mean, she was there sleeping. I mean, you know.
According to him, he left the restaurant briefly to pick Jojo up from school, and when he got back, he saw Ashley sleeping in the back room of the restaurant. He then said that they got busy, and upon checking on her a few hours later, she wasn't in the room anymore. He told the dispatchers that they were scared because there was a wooded area at the back of the restaurant, and Ashley might have gone off and wandered off into the forest. But strangely, he seemed very calm for someone who couldn't find his daughter. It was just strange. Now, police came to investigate and help search for the child. They searched the restaurant, the wooded area behind it, and all the other nearby businesses. However, they just couldn't find the toddler. After this, they decided to look inside the restaurant again. I mean, Ashley was a very small child and she could have hidden anywhere. At around 5 p.m. the next day, January 10th, 2017, authorities discovered the dead body of 5-year-old Ashley Zhao. She was put in a large salt container which was stuffed behind the walls of the restaurant's walk-in freezer. Her parents Liang and Mingming were both taken into questioning right away. Now, Mingming was very emotionless and seemed like she couldn't care less about everything that was going on.
Your daughter's dead. I just don't understand. I know that you're not crying. You said I don't have nothing left. Isn't that what you told me? You don't have no tears left. You don't have nothing left. Ming Ming, your daughter's dead.
And at first, she tried to deny the accusations, but eventually, as the police officers put more pressure on her, she gave up her act and finally confessed to killing her own daughter. And she did that very nonchalantly. And the more she was questioned, the more pissed she became. She blamed this on the fact that she was always busy in the restaurant and that she only had 2 hands and not 4.
I only take care of everything from the restaurant. I only have 2 hands. I'm not 4 hands, girl. I'm 2 hands.
Then why have kids in the first place? Being stressed and busy is not an excuse to hurt and murder your own child. On a separate questioning, Liang told the authorities that he started off his day by driving Jojo to school. And once he arrived back home, Mingming and Ashley were already arguing. Apparently, his wife was extremely upset over the fact that Ashley had peed and pooped in her diaper. Isn't that what diapers are for?
She peed on her diaper and she pooped on her diaper.
Kids always say something, the bad things. They made me angry. And I can't control myself and that killed her.
Mingming was angry that at 5 years old, Ashley wasn't potty trained yet. But whose fault is that? It's your job as a mother to potty train your daughter. She can't learn that by herself. Now, after being scolded by Mingming, Ashley then decides to take her diaper off, and this just angered her mother even more. Mingming, who was furious at this point, grabbed little Ashley by the neck and slammed her head onto their carpeted floors twice. And what was Liang doing? He just watched. He just stood there as his wife was bashing their 5-year-old daughter's head to the ground. And what did he do after? Nothing. He told the officers that he thought she was just out of it for a minute and would eventually gain back consciousness. But then she started breathing heavily, almost grasping for air. So you might be wondering what he did now. Still nothing. Once he stopped hearing these heavy breaths, that's when he decided to go and check on her because he wanted to hold his baby. And this is when he realized that she had actually stopped breathing and attempted to resuscitate her by performing CPR for 15 minutes. However, on the same questioning, he actually changed his story and said that after Mingming slammed Ashley's head against the floor, the toddler started to vomit and they brought her to the bathroom to clean her up. They then put a fresh set of clothes on her and put her there. I have no idea where there is, but somewhere around the house. After this, they realized that she was dead and started to panic, so they decided to bring her lifeless body to work and lay her on the bed in the back room of the restaurant at around 10 a.m. They did this because they wanted Jojo to see Ashley sleeping on the bed so that their stories would later match up. And when asked what his initial plans were, he said that if the police hadn't found Ashley's body, he would have burned it, buried it, or thrown it in the ocean. It. He referred to his daughter's dead body as it.
Angry and hit her head on the carpet, 2 times. And initially she was breathing, her heart stopped beating. So I started panicking and I tried to do CPR on her, and that's when we realized she's gone.
You take Ashley to the restaurant. How do you get Ashley from the apartment to the restaurant?
Put her in a car seat.
Did you carry her out to the car?
Yeah, on top of the walk-in.
What were your plans to do after? What were your plans to do after?
In on top of the walk-in.
What were your plans to do after? Maybe we quit looking for her. Whatever. What were you gonna do?
We don't really know. There was 3 things: I'd burn it, bury it, or throw it in the ocean.
It's actually cooked and served meals while your daughter was laying there,
Yes.
and went on business as usual.
Yes.
Yang Zhao and Ming Chen were both arrested and charged with murder, endangering a child, tampering with evidence, obstruction of justice, and the gross abuse of a corpse. However, they both took plea deals. Ming was instead found guilty of involuntary manslaughter and was sentenced to 22 years in prison. After her release, she will be deported back to China because she wasn't even a legal citizen of the United States. Liang, on the other hand, will serve 12 years in prison after testifying against his wife. Their eldest daughter, Jojo, was placed in the custody of the state. Honestly, I don't think this is a fair sentence, and in my opinion, they both should have gotten life sentences for what they did to their poor daughter. Ashley was a defenseless 5-year-old child, and she did nothing wrong. She didn't do anything to deserve this, especially not at the hands of her own mother, who was supposed to be giving her love and affection and was supposed to be taking care of her instead. Now, according to reports, aside from not being potty trained, Ashley also had other issues. Apparently, she did not know her surname, she had no clue whether she was a boy or a girl, had learning difficulties, and some delays in speech. Now, I did mention this already in a previous video, but I did work closely with kids in the past. I was a preschool and elementary school teacher a few years ago, and it seems to me that Ashley might have had an undiagnosed disorder. And I've seen this a lot wherein parents would be in complete denial of their kids having any cognitive or intellectual issues. And this would often result to them not taking the child in for a checkup or to be examined. And I just feel so bad for these kids who have undiagnosed disorders because they are put in regular schools and don't really get the help and assistance that they need. And in the long run, this will only harm or hurt the child and make life harder than it should be and harder than it already is. But that's just my opinion. We don't and won't really know whether Ashley was suffering from anything undiagnosed. It's also possible that Liang and Ming just never took the time to teach her these things. But that's all that I have for you guys for today's video. As usual, I would love to hear your thoughts on this case, and should there be any other case that you would like for me to cover, please let me know by leaving a comment. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you guys enjoy the holidays. Merry Christmas if you are celebrating, and I will see you guys on January.